Welcome to our video exploring the dark and fascinating world of Vlad the Impaler and the infamous legend of Dracula. With tales of bloodshed, cruelty, and horror, the story of Vlad III has captured people's imaginations for centuries, inspiring countless books, movies, and legends about the prince who became known as Vlad the Impaler. But how much of this is fact and how much is fiction? And how did Vlad III's legacy give rise to one of the most enduring figures of horror, the vampire Count Dracula? In this video, we will delve into the life and times of Vlad III, explore the origins of the Dracula legend, and separate fact from fiction in one of the most haunting stories of all time. So sit back, get ready to be spooked, and join us as we journey into the world of Vlad and Dracula. Once upon a time, in a far-off land called Wallachia, there lived a prince named Vlad III, also known as Vlad the Impaler. He was a fierce warrior who fought against the Ottoman Empire, but he was also known for his cruel methods of punishing his enemies. Vlad III was born in 1431 in the city of Sigisawara, which was known for its picturesque medieval streets and vibrant marketplace. As a young boy, Vlad III and his younger brother were taken hostage by the Ottoman Sultan, who wanted to ensure their father's loyalty. They were held captive for several years, during which time they were educated and trained in warfare. When Vlad III returned to Wallachia, he found that his father had been assassinated and his country was in turmoil. He fought for control of the throne against his rival, Vladislav II, and emerged victorious. However, his reign was marked by cruelty and bloodshed. Vlad III was a fierce warrior who fought against the Ottoman Empire, but he was also known for his sadistic methods of punishing his enemies. He would often impale his victims on long stakes and leave them to die slowly, as a warning to others. Legend has it that one day, when a group of Ottoman envoys refused to remove their turbans in Vlad III's presence, he ordered that the turbans be nailed to their heads. He then invited their families to come and see the new fashion he had created. Vlad III's cruelty and bloodlust inspired fear and loathing among his subjects, but he also had his supporters. Some people saw him as a hero who defended his country against the Ottoman Empire, while others saw him as a sadistic monster. Despite his controversial legacy, Vlad III's story continues to fascinate people today. His reputation as a brutal and ruthless leader has inspired countless stories, movies, and legends, including the famous tale of Dracula, a vampire who was said to be based on Vlad III himself. But how did the story of Vlad the Impaler give rise to one of the most enduring figures of horror? The answer lies in a book called Dracula by Bram Stoker, which was published in 1897. Stoker was inspired by the legend of Vlad III and created a character who was both terrifying and seductive, with the power to hypnotize and control his victims. In the book, Count Dracula is a vampire who comes to England to prey on innocent victims and spread his curse. He is eventually defeated by a group of brave heroes led by Professor Van Helsing, who use their knowledge of vampire lore to stop him. But let's get back to Vlad III. What was it that made him so feared and infamous? One theory is that he was traumatized by his time as a hostage of the Ottomans, and that his cruelty was a way of asserting his dominance and control over his enemies. Another theory is that he was simply a product of his time, when violence and brutality were seen as necessary tools for survival. Whatever the reason, Vlad III's methods of punishment were nothing short of horrifying. He would impale his victims on long wooden stakes, sometimes through the anus or genitals, and leave them to die slowly in public view. He would also burn, boil, and skin his victims alive, and force others to eat the flesh of their loved ones. His reputation for cruelty and bloodlust earned him the nickname Vlad the Impaler, and he was feared and hated by his subjects. However, some historians argue that his methods of punishment were not as extreme as they have been portrayed, and that his reputation was exaggerated by his enemies. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more like it, don't forget to subscribe. We'll be bringing you more fascinating stories, so stay tuned.